Perhaps there is no other building that elicits such strong emotions as a traditional barn. It's a place often filled with fond memories, with stories of yesterday's joys and struggles. To the early pioneers, barns were a symbol of their commitment to this land. It helped them establish their farms and ranches on the Great Plains. To build upon that pioneer heritage, inspired by their own special memories, Jule Goeller and Len Dickinson founded Sand Creek Post and Beam.
Growing up on a farm, we had a couple of barns, and there were a couple of big barns over at Grandma and Grandpa's too.
Well, the first barn I guess I remember is my grandfather's barn.
And we would just go up there and play and find the latest litter of kitties, you know, the little kittens, and we were always told to stay out of there, but of course we didn't.
Experiencing those big old places and the hay and the ropes and the big wood, it just left an impression on me.
Inspired by that pioneer spirit, Sand Creek Post and Beam barn kits combine modern technology with the strength of post and beam construction to create authentic barns and outbuildings in the tradition of our forefathers. It's a perfect blend of old and new. Post and beam barn kits are actually not a new concept. They were widespread in the Great Plains in the early 1900s.
There was a need for farmers to quickly get to their homestead, to put up a barn, to get farming. So companies like Montgomery Ward's, Gordon Tyne, Sears, there were a few others, put them together as kits and shipped them by rail to the Midwest and the Great Plains. And you'll find quite a few of the older barns were done with kits.
Well, today kit barns fit the situation that we have today for two reasons. One is wood can be expensive, and to buy from the lumberyard, whereas in a kit we can take advantage of large purchases and cut our wood full dimension. The species that we've chosen is ponderosa pine. We get that wood from primarily from the Black Hills. We're very careful to make sure that our wood and all our dimensional timber is dry, and we guarantee 15%, same as the lumberyard does. Our beams are heavy beams and posts cut from heartwood in the center, and you can see the rings, and they're all very close together and very tight. And custom cut it with small mills out there that still charge a price that helps that small lumberjack and mill to make a living. The other thing is labor. To build a barn from scratch, and especially a timber frame or post and beam barn, is not real easy for a standard framer. They're used to 2x4s and frame construction. So we do all the things, cut the big beams and place them. We put the plates on, drill the holes, and we assemble the entire post and beam section, and then so it all fits, and so there's no question. Then we disassemble it for shipping. We make our windows and doors and cupolas all in the plant. They're made out of the same wood, and our mill right there we're real proud of. He builds very authentic small frame windows. The people at the plant are very focused on doing things right. They know that big timber frame bent that's laid out on the floor is going to be a barn that's going to be there 100 years, and they think about that. It's a pleasure to work with people who are as passionate about the product as we are.
And it's just really nice to be able to have all the materials that you need, all just delivered right to the job site. It really is a project that the whole family seems to get involved in. And maybe it's akin to the old barn raisings where the neighbors used to come over and make a big occasion out of it. But I think most of our customers loved having their barn go up. And it really is neat to watch. I mean, to see those big, huge posts and beams bolted together, they're lying on the ground, and to watch them slowly come up and just sort of reach into the sky, and then they're being held up, and the next one comes, and they all get bolted together. but just to be able to look up into the sky and see all the expanse of the big wood looking up at the roof, it just sometimes almost gives you almost a religious experience. It's just a feeling of awe or majesty. Maybe that's why they used to call barns cathedrals of the prairies. I don't know.
Sand Creek Post and Beam is dedicated to old-time quality, authenticity, and personal service to each customer.
It's almost like they have a vision in their head of how they want it to be, of what life living in the country is like.
My wife and I always wanted to have a place out in the country, and we felt a barn kind of completed things, and I wanted something with character. I wanted something that would add to the value of my acreage and not detract from my acreage. Then the other thing to look at is how much longer this barn is going to last than a Morton building or a steel building. This will be here for 200 years.
Part of the fun of working with our customers is they usually have a story that pulls them to a historic big wood timber frame type barn.
I had to build those. I had to clean those. I had to get the cows in and out of those.
We got the idea for building the barn by deciding we wanted a big workshop, and we wanted it to be compatible with the buildings that existed here. And a metal building just wouldn't do, so...
It was an outstanding product. There's no doubt about that. The design was a perfect fit for us. It fit the era. It's the sort of thing that I saw as a kid.
The minute they find out that you sell barn kits, they all want to tell you their story.
We have a 110-year-old farmhouse that we wanted to keep the look, the feel, and that's what we loved this place for. And so I looked and looked and looked locally and couldn't find anybody that really had what I needed. Sand Creek was very willing to work with me, but they also had the flexibility for me to basically customize basically two barns and put them together in a manner such that fit everything that I needed to do.
People love to have celebrations in their barns. People will invite their friends over. It's an excuse to have a get-together, but it just seems real natural to have the barn be the center. People bring food, and it's almost like a potluck. Bring things over, and everyone loves to walk in the barn, and everybody you talk to wants to tell you their barn story.
Today, Sand Creek Post and Beam is building new traditions through the strength of quality designs, materials, and craftsmanship, and the personal vision of its customers. Traditional barns without compromise. Sand Creek Post and Beam.
These kits really they're rustic, they're a throwback to how things used to be, they're sturdy, they're massive, they're going to last for a long time, and they add value to people's property.
We fully expect any barn we build to be around for 100, 150 years, and as the barns in the country have. They've lasted for forever, and we take that very seriously, and we're proud of that. That's part of what we do, and that's how we can have fun at what we do, as opposed to just a business.